Share some stories, like what have been some common things that you've seen it with patients within their last dying moments. I know that a lot of them, start kind of like grabbing the air, like if they're almost like pulling themselves up. Um,
hmm Yeah, we see people reaching a lot, reaching into the air, oftentimes up above or to the corner of the room. And that is often where people will say that they see those deceased loved ones. That's where they'll usually say, yeah, they're up in the corner of the room or they're up above me. I've seen that many, many times. And so to me, this reaching, maybe they're reaching out to those visions. People also do things with their hands, like picking at their clothes, or they'll do things with their hands like smoking a cigarette if they were a smoker, or tying flies. I've had lots of patients who were fishermen who would be going like this, and the family would say, oh, he's tying flies. He was a fly fisherman. Needlepoint, this type of stuff that they do with their hands. I had one patient who was still coherent enough to kind of communicate with her daughter about what was happening and when she was doing this stuff. And I wasn't there for this. The daughter told me about it. So I met this lady on a Saturday. She had been admitted from the hospital on Friday. And then I was working the weekend. So I saw her on Saturday and I saw her on Sunday. And it was like a crash course in end of life care, because I could tell this woman was just really tanking fast.
mhm.
And so then she does die. And the daughter calls and says, I want to tell you about what happened. And she said that her mom started touching her chest like this. And the daughter thought she was touching her gown. And her mom said, well, I need this. And her daughter said, your gown? And she said, no, this. And she started motioning to her skin. And then she held her hands up and she said, well, I need these. And the daughter said, I don't know, Mom. And then she said, she started reaching up in the air and said, there's windows right here. And she was talking about windows, and she was telling the daughter that these were things in her life that had happened. Like, she was explaining to her daughter these memories that she could see in these windows. And I just thought it was fascinating because, I think people do, back to like, why do people linger? I think people review their life. I think they do
Yeah.
life review. I think they process things that happened in their life. And so it was really interesting because she was able to articulate that she could see, these things.
The different experiences in her life through these window panels. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
interesting. That's so interesting. Have you ever encountered any like entities that have been present in the room?
No, I
Or-
never have. And, people will ask me, well, have any of your patients ever come to see you after they died? No, my dad did, but none of my patients. And I always say, well, why would they? I was just their nurse for a short period of time, like
Right.
they're going to go see their family members. But I will say that when somebody dies, there is a definite feeling of a shift of energy in the room. Like,
Okay.
you can just kind of feel it. Like, there's just something different when somebody dies. It's like a shift of energy. But I've never seen any kind of, other than my dad, spirits in the rooms of my patients. But I've heard of other people seeing that.